And we're live with another podcast, three-way. We got both Mitch and Jeff in this time.
Over here.
All right.
Yep. So I guess we can kind of just get into it. Obviously, the thing we're going to talk about mostly is Dave Hakstol, and the rumor is that he's going to be gone
Tomorrow, most likely.
Yeah, most likely.
From what everyone's been hearing, because there's been a lot. The quote-unquote word is rumblings, which is pretty funny, actually. But yeah, so the rumors is that Dave Hakstol will be fired tomorrow. Not only that, but it sounds like Joel Quenneville could be the next head coach of the Philadelphia Flyers. Because one of the things I mentioned to you guys before the podcast is a tweet by Eklund from Hockey Buzz that, let's see here, just posted, top NHL source just told me Quenneville to the Flyers is happening. More on hockeybuzz.com. And that was posted earlier this morning at 9:25. So I don't know what you guys think about that tweet.
I mean, I would take things that Eklund would say with a grain of salt.
Right.
But the only reason why I saw that, I don't actually follow Eklund,
Yeah.
is because Bill Meltzer retweeted it.
Right.
And while, I mean, it makes sense that he retweeted because they write for the same website, but I would think that Bill wouldn't retweet that unless he's heard something.
Yeah. Unless it has some sort of meaning behind it.
And everyone's getting sources now, so.
Right. Because the person who originally posted this was Steph Driver from Broad Street Hockey. She had an entire thread back, or actually just yesterday. I'll just kind of cover the highlights here. We know the Flyers can't continue what they've been doing. We all know this. I'm hearing rumblings about more changes on the horizon. The rumblings are Hakstol's job is on the line with this game tonight, but the writing is already on the wall. We know they want to make a move before the roster freeze. This has been reiterated, not prospects, roster players. So I'm going to stop right there, because what roster players do you realistically see going? The first person comes to mind is Wayne Simmons. As much as I love his game and style,
if he keeps,
he's going to be gone.
If he keeps doing the unnecessary roughness
And that
shit,
too.
I'm trading him.
And that too.
Yeah. He's got to stop
because
with
it's
that.
costing this team.
Yeah. That's why we lost in Calgary.
Exactly.
The penalties.
The one thing this team can't afford to have happen is any amount of special teams, whether on the power play or penalty kill. They're
because
significantly
it's
better
been
power play.
dreadful this
Very
season.
bad.
Well, even not just that, because even just line-wise, too, it seems like the past couple of games it's just been a scramble.
Because
there's
really
been
has
weird
been.
line combinations, like Drew was with Patrick and
on the second
Verone
line, too.
the other day.
Yeah.
But I don't know if we're looking into this too much or not, but still, I think the fact that just Hakstol, he's just losing his control of what's really going on, because he's just trying to say, right now, at least to me, in my opinion, here, let's throw this line together, see if this actually works or not.
Right. I think he's just trying anything at this point.
Right.
And Dave Hakstol even said in his post-game press conference last night that he's aware of the rumors that he's potentially gone.
Ooh.
So, I mean,
interesting.
It sounds like it's
it most likely probably happened after the Edmonton game. Maybe Calgary, but I'm assuming.
Definitely Calgary. I would say, honestly, even
it's similar to it.
I would say the Toronto game
Mm-hmm.
is where the rumors probably started circulating.
No, because that was when they started running Hextall. And if you believed
That's true. If
you believed his press conference, it didn't seem like he really was close to firing.
That's fair to say.
Yeah, but they're
Hextall.
Not to get almost kind of conspiracy theory sort of thing, but I wouldn't be surprised if Chuck Fletcher viewed Dave Hakstol as more of like an interim coach before he could hire a guy like a Joel Quenneville or something.
That would be interesting. So how would that work? Would they just make an announcement saying, we are making Dave Hakstol an interim head coach now?
Oh, no, I'm saying just like internally, that's just the thought process behind
I
keeping
got
him
you.
there.
Because Charlie's always said it since they got Chuck Fletcher is that to bring in his own guys.
Right.
When you come in.
And that's
new GM.
typically what happens.
Like he's giving him a look, and I don't know what the record is, but it's not good.
It's pretty
for
bad.
What Chuck Fletcher has seen from Hakstol.
I know in their last 15, they're 4-8-3.
Yeah.
So, I mean.
Yeah, and that's just...
Last 10 alone, it's 3-5-2.
Yeah, so that's not good right there. But yeah, moving on to continuing on the Steph Driver's thread from Twitter. Keep in mind the roster freeze starts midnight on December 19th, which is just 3 days away, and goes all the way to December 27th. And the rumor that she has been hearing for a while, since before Hakstol was fired, is that senior management wants the coach who's known by one single letter. This message has gotten stronger, which
Presumably
Mitch,
Joel Quenneville.
yes, the letter Q, as Mitch was confirming to us earlier before we started. So, again, things are slowly but surely coming along here now, and where I think realistically, because some of the other rumors is that not only could Hakstol be fired, it could happen tomorrow when they land in Philly.
Yeah, they land in Philly tonight at 6.
Or,
Around
sorry,
6 o'clock tonight.
Yeah.
So
And
potentially it could happen tonight, but probably most likely
most likely
it'll happen
tomorrow
Yeah.
is what the rumors are saying. But then, let's say if he does get fired, how soon would the Flyers announce, or at least
I think
speculate
it would
they're
be
going after
announced
Quenneville?
in conjunction with the firing
Okay.
who the replacement will be.
Okay.
I assume that it's either going to be Scott Gordon as an interim
Yep.
or Joel Quenneville.
Yeah,
I can't.
right.
Other people have suggested maybe Sheldon Keefe being hired, and I would like that hiring, but I don't think that I don't think he would leave the Marlies midseason.
Yeah, and then there was a tweet a while back from Charlie O'Connor from The Athletic saying that it was basically right around the time of the Hakstol firing that it was possible that, or no, I'm sorry, it was Tony Androkidis because he does a lot of coverage for the Lehigh Valley Phantoms, and he noted that at first for a little while Scott Gordon was not on the ice or even like at the rink in general with the Phantoms, so there was rumors that maybe Gordon could have been.
I remember seeing that and thinking, oh,
That's happening.
Something's
Yeah,
happening.
something's happening.
And then
Like,
it was just that, no,
Yeah.
he
And
just
he just
always
showed
comes
up.
off.
yeah, it's
He
like,
always
oh,
comes off first.
I'm dead inside.
Yeah. I wonder if they do a fire assistant coach, if he might come up as like an assistant, or they just keep him on with the
I
Phantoms.
mean, there were rumors that there was talk that he could potentially come up as the penalty kill coach and then move Knobloch and LePerrier back down to the Phantoms.
That would be interesting. I don't know if I like that because I love what Scott Gordon has done for years since he first arrived in Lehigh Valley. And watching, and one nice thing is the way his coaching style, those guys down in the minors seem to get it. So I don't know, because
well, it's also not. I don't know how much of it is really his style, or is it more Hakstol style? Because they're trying to learn from, or trying to get it in. But
that's what I was going to ask, is
prepare
because
for
I know
the next, so.
I know what Hakstol's style is it's a very offensive style where it's trying to create scoring abilities. You have your defenseman pinch in. The biggest issue with that style is if you pinch in too much, you get caught 2-on-1, 2-on-0, 1-on-0. 9 times out of 10, you're screwed.
And another problem with it is he'll preach that, but then any defenseman who has the ability to do that at a high level, like Travis Sanheim, if they make a mistake doing that, then they're immediately
exactly
sent
in
down
the press box. Yes,
Their next game isn't until Tuesday. So.
Against Detroit.
Yeah, so and also at home. So
and
it would be a real shit show if Dave Hakstol's still the coach.
Well, not just that. I'm assuming that. I was just going to say if they fired him tomorrow or not, because I wasn't sure how much time there was in between if they have a morning skate.
No, that's a good point.
Because I wonder if it'd be similar to when Hakstol was fired, is they bring him into the office and they fire him.
I think they would still have the morning skate because.
Well, yeah, you're still going to have the morning skate. I'm not sure if it's actually they have one scheduled for tomorrow or not.
That's going to be tough to say.
Yeah, I in terms of tomorrow, I don't know. I mean,
that's a great point to bring up, though.
Yeah, I don't know when they would decide to let Hakstol go in that situation. They wouldn't let him have the practice. He would be gone by the practice.
Exactly,
I just don't know if it would be a situation like we thought was happening with Gordon where he just doesn't show up.
Or they fire him tonight or something and they don't announce it until tomorrow.
Yeah,
that's possible.
I think that's probably what's most likely.
Because then what would happen is as soon as they fire him, or they are already, because if they know they're going to fire him, they have already reached out to Joel Quenneville. That's a fact,
Well, if you believe what the people who have sources saying, it seems like
that's what's going to happen.
And before it seemed there was like rumor that he wasn't going to make a decision until after the holidays. Now it seems it's going to be.
It's going to be way before the holidays. Well, obviously not way before, but you know what I mean.
And it's probably not going to be made until they have him. Here.
So the interesting thing is that let's say. If for some odd reason he doesn't get fired tomorrow night, regardless, I think he will at some point this upcoming week, because you face Nashville. they're going to get
Yeah.
steamrolled regardless, I think.
Yeah, I would be
Well,
very
you could
surprised
say
if
that
he
about
wasn't.
any team at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Detroit is like the least scary team on paper
Yeah.
in the league or among
And
them.
yet,
And yet they still
the-
very well
yeah.
could lose. I mean,
Yeah.
they just lost to the Canucks, so.
I mean, the Canucks aren't terrible, but they're not great because they've been falling off lately.
Yeah.
But we'll see. But, yeah, and then...
4-game losing streak.
All right. Charlie mentioned 22 hours ago on Twitter. I can say that I've heard rumblings from those I trust about a coaching change for the Flyers happening at the end of this road trip. We'll see how it plays out in the coming days, but I don't get the feeling this is just smoke.
Yeah. So, again.
That's pretty much
it's-
what everyone's been saying.
Yeah. And Chris Johnston on Hockey Night in Canada
Yeah.
last night, it pretty much said the same sort of thing, that there's
Right.
a lot of smoke surrounding the situation.
Yeah.
So,
I mean-
with this much smoke, I assume something's going to happen.
Yeah. Because Fletcher was already having him on a short leash anyways.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because
He already-
Fletcher... Sorry, go ahead.
He already made his first hire in the assistant
Yeah.
GM.
Yeah.
So this is the next logical move for
Next
trying
step,
to get
yeah.
them.
He did mention that Fletcher knows the fan base wants a coaching change, according to Sam Carchady, and that the team has been awful. He also knows Hakstol's teams with North Dakota and the Flyers have turned things around in the season's second half. So I don't know how you want to take that.
Yeah, obviously he's
Yeah.
trying to say that there's the potential that maybe he sees that second half surge by most Flyers teams of the
Yeah.
past
Mhm.
couple of years.
And
Last
that's
year in
exactly what's
particular.
happening. Yeah, exactly.
But I still can't imagine it happens. They've
No.
never been this
bad because there's
terrible.
been
No.
bad, and then there's been this level. Bad.
I mean, they had the 10-game losing streak last year, but they followed that up with a 6-game winning streak.
Right.
Like this
6
is
games,
this
yeah.
is a very long extended
Mhm.
because
bad streak.
It's a third season in a row for him to have a bad streak.
yeah.
Because the season before, he also lost 10 straight.
No, he
He won 10
he
straight.
won 10.
straight,
It was
right.
he
That
won
was
10 straight,
straight.
then he lost 10 straight, and this year is just all over the place. This team, the way the season's going, it reminds me of how the 06-07 season went, where
Mhm.
they were literally the dead
The worst
last
in the league.
in the league. Yeah,
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
And then lost the draft lottery.
yeah. So
Yes.
couldn't get much worse. They did get JVR,
They did.
but of course
Sure.
Got
got
Patrick Kane.
yeah. So that would have been nice,
Mm-hmm.
but.
Yeah. But then I also think, just to kind of turn it this way, Stolarz also got hurt last night.
yes,
He did.
yeah.
Surprisingly.
So and
Then what does he make it? Is he going to make a move? Or is Neuer gonna,
it might be like a similar situation where last year Hextall was forced to trade for a goalie for Peter Mrazek,
Mm-hmm.
and unfortunately that didn't turn out because I did like Mrazek.
At the beginning, he looked great.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
looked superb, and then just I don't even know what happened. The wheels fell right off, and he looked horrible. Now he's in Carolina, and he's not doing much better.
Yeah.
I don't think.
There was Charlie posed a question on one of his 10 thoughts after one of the games,
Yeah.
and he asked whether or not it's even should the Flyers even worry about getting a goalie this year, or should they just say this season is done.
Right.
So might as well get the best draft pick we can.
Right. Because
The
think
only
about
reason why I
it.
say that is because if you don't have Stolarz right now, you just have Lyon.
Lyon and
only-
Neuvert, and Neuvert's going to get hurt.
Yeah.
Well,
within
and
the
also
next week
I don't know
or so.
when Neuvert's coming back because
Because
he's right now on paternity leave.
yeah.
Yeah,
because-
so you don't
Yeah.
exactly know.
I don't know if he's coming back by Tuesday or not. But
I don't know.
and I don't know what's happening.
Because they
with-
had an emergency goalie ready to go, and if he did play last night, which he didn't, thank God,
Yeah.
he would have been, according to Adam
Seven.
Kimmelman, the 6th goalie to play a game for the Flyers this season, which would be the most they've ever used in one season. They've used 5 in a season 5 times. Besides this, also in 2009, 2010, 2003, 04, 78, 79, and 75, 76. So those numbers right there are just frightening.
and
Yeah,
also if
and-
you earn the other option, if you don't, is calling up Carter Hart.
Right, but I don't know what your. I'll let you guys talk about this first because what are your opinions right now at the Flyers? Because they only have 2 options, in my opinion. They either trade for a goalie right now or they call up Carter Hart. What do you guys think first? Because I want to hear your opinions. I
wanna
know exactly
see-
what I'm thinking, but I want to hear you guys first.
For me, I want to see him because he's doing pretty well right now
Yeah.
after starting off slow. I want to see if he can build that off for like at least a month or so, and then maybe
Yeah,
if their goalies are still hurt and they're still down.
I feel similarly. I know people have said that if he comes up, and especially with how this team is playing, that it could hurt his confidence. But at the same time, a lot of what it takes to be an NHL goalie is the mental part of the game.
Mm-hmm.
And there is a part of me that says that if he can't handle it mentally now, if that like ruins his career because we send him out now, I don't think it would have panned out either way.
Right.
Yeah.
Because if mentally he can't handle it, then he just can't handle it.
Well,
Yeah, because I
if you
know
believe what he said before every other year from coming to training camp, he wants to be on the Flyers.
Mm-hmm.
He thought he was going to make it right away. So
Yeah, one thing I actually found interesting during Chuck Fletcher's press conference, introductory press conference, he was asked about Carter Hart and when he thinks he could be up with the Flyers, and the first thing he said is, I don't know if he's going to be up in a month, 3 months, 6 months. He didn't, and then he said a year. He didn't put it in terms of a long-term thing.
Yeah, right.
So I do think that at the moment they see him as someone who very well could come up at some point this season.
Interesting. So, so there's, I don't know if you guys know Jamie Baskow. I think where is he from? He's with Philly Sports Network.
Yeah,
and
I've seen him on Twitter.
Yeah, no, I think he tweets out usually good stuff. But he said, because I quoted his tweet. He said things couldn't get worse for Flyers goalies. ? Stolarz exits with an injury. Maybe Carter Hart time in Philly. Here's what I said. As much as I would love to see Hart get some ice time, he can't save this team by himself. It might be good to get experience at least, but fans better not get frustrated with him if he plays that poorly. Goalies take the longest to develop. It takes 3 to 5 years at least, and you can't rush talent like this.
right.
Dave Isaac also said, Flyers have played 5 goalies this season. I don't think the outlook for Brian Elliott is good. Stolarz apparently left injured. Pickard gone on waivers. Lyon in net. Either Neuber's wife has to give birth and then he rejoins the team, or go up harder. Hart is the only one left. Then I said for that, unless a trade is made, whether you like it or not, Hart could be on his way up here. Don't get me wrong. I do love Carter Hart. I love his game. I love the fact that he's been doing better and his game has improved, but he needs more experience in the AHL first. However, the Flyers might not have a choice.
Yeah.
Right.
My biggest thing is
if he does play well, just playing the other side, if he is called up and he's played well,
I mean, hey,
do you
stick that to him.
then at that point play him as a backup and then send like Neuber on waivers?
Oh, probably.
I mean, yeah. With his injury history, I don't know how much more he could.
Yeah, because
I can't trust him in any way.
I think regardless, no team's going to want him. His career is practically done.
Yeah.
I hate to say that, but it kind of is. He's too injury prone. If
and
you
he,
do
and
put
he's
him
also
on,
just having a bad season.
he
again.
really
Yeah.
is.
And
So
extremely inconsistent.
if you do put him on waivers, I highly doubt he'll get claimed. You never know, unless a team is, because let's think, is there any other team in the league right now that's as desperate as the Flyers are for goaltending?
Arizona,
Carolina.
Okay, then there's a chance that those two teams could claim,
because Arizona claimed Pickard because they both
that's
goalies
true.
were hurt.
Yeah,
because
Ronta's out for a while.
he's out. He could be out for the season.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's a great point though.
Yeah, but in terms of the trading for a goalie, I just don't see an option out there that I would be willing. Like Jimmy Howard's the guy that everyone brings up, but supposedly they're asking for a first round
and
pick.
no one's gonna in their right mind trade a first round pick for Howard.
It's just I can't see doing that.
No.
And even coming down just a little, I don't know if I really want to trade a second round pick, especially with how poorly this team is
exactly. No, because that could be extremely valuable pick.
especially as he's a rental.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly what turned out. What happened with Mrazek?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because I don't think we planned on him becoming a rental. I think the Flyers plan on seeing him for this season, but just because of how poorly he played, he instantly became a rental. Luckily, they didn't have to give up as much as they originally
it
were.
wasn't too terrible.
Yeah, so that's the good news. So it's because the other thing. Sorry, go ahead.
Right now, Howard's numbers are 269 goals against and 922 save percentage.
All right.
Yeah, so he's having
and
a
22
good year.
starts.
He's having a good year.
Yeah.
How old is he?
32, 33?
He's in his mid-30s, I think.
Probably.
34.
34.
And previous seasons, he
Yeah.
hasn't done that well. So I don't know how much he can really continue this.
Yeah.
I just
He's been inconsistent the past couple years.
Yeah, and
anyways.
besides, also keep in mind that Mrazek has also gotten a good amount of starts as well in Detroit before.
he is.
Besides
Yeah.
Howard.
His contract is $5.29 million, but he's a free agent next year.
And the Flyers have cap space, so the cap hit really doesn't matter for
Right.
this season.
But it's just the price of what you would give up. First round pick, no way.
It's
Even
not,
a second round pick, I would not
Yeah.
do that.
I mean, yeah, if they want to give up a lower,
That's something
end
people
prospect,
might give
but-
up for like Bobrovsky or something, not for Jimmy Howard.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Just for Bob, you would easily have to give up a first and probably more.
but then
I want to risk that much for a goalie.
Well, depends on the goal. If it's someone,
I think that'd be their
Bobrovsky,
ask.
Bobrovsky maybe, Price absolutely. And that's the other thing is that with Sergei Bobrovsky, his contract's expiring at the end of the season. There's rumors that he might not go back to Columbus.
It doesn't.
But Columbus is second.
Would be
in the
pretty
Metro.
surprised if he went back to Columbus.
Yeah, I would be too. And
They're not going to trade him
Same
because
with
they're
Panarin.
second. in the
yeah,
Metro.
Panarin, I know he's
Yeah.
gone for sure. I think Columbus needs to get rid of Panarin by the deadline, or
They're not.
what they could also do, depending on they do in the during the season and or playoffs, if they get there.
They are.
They could
If
just-
the season ended now, they'd be in the playoffs.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
Uh,
the Metro's been terrible.
They
this year.
it really has been. What they could do is trade Panarin at the draft because that's before the NHL free agency.
Yeah, they could. I just
But then
don't-
you would have to
I don't
worry
know how
about
much value you're really going to get out of
right
it.
Yeah.
because
It's like an extra week of negotiating.
exactly so
Because you also have to take into account the fact that the draft is early 23rd or 21st
Yeah.
or something like
Yeah.
that. And then you have only a few days because there's also a week in advance of the July 1st
Yeah.
free agency
agency
opening
signing.
that you can talk to free agents.
Right.
So there's really not that big of a advantage to trading for him at
Right.
that point.
yeah, that's a good point. But what about because there's also been rumors that Sergei Bobrovsky and the Flyers might have some sort of reunion. I don't know what you think about that.
I don't
'cause-
know how much I believe that. And I also
Well-
don't know how much Bobrovsky's going to want to come back because I'm not sure how much he really liked his time here.
Well,
He threatened to leave for Russia at one point before he was
Yeah,
that's
traded.
true. But not only that, but if they have someone like Joel Quenneville, that might help.
Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, it could.
But he's also going to want a big contract.
That's what
Exactly.
because for Sports Talk Philly, the website we Mike and I both write for, I mentioned this in my latest article. One of the things that was mentioned is that about the Bobrovsky rumors is that yes, Bobrovsky is going to want a big contract because, to be fair, he deserves a relatively hefty contract because he's a
Vezina.
two-time
He's-
Vezina winner. He's probably the second best goaltender in the league behind Carey Price. And I think that a realistic contract for him would be 5 years.
You know why some teams might be hesitant on that, though? Is
What's
for
that?
some reason for other teams is he doesn't really show up in the playoffs.
His playoff numbers are very bad.
That's true. That's
He's
what,
great season-wise, but once
Yeah.
it comes to playoffs,
But even this season, he hasn't played well.
no.
True.
To start this year.
But that's why I think he's going to get
I
a
don't
pretty
think he played that
solid
great last year either.
contract, but I don't think it's going to be as good of a contract as Carey Price.
Mhm.
Because Price has proven in the playoffs as well.
But there
Sure,
have been
but
rumors
that's-
that that's what he's looking for.
Right,
is the Price
exactly.
contract.
And my thing is, it's a good and bad thing for that. It's good because if you
Price is getting $10 million a year. Though.
no, I know. See, that's
And-
too much.
yeah, and he's starting to go in the
decline.
downswing
Yeah.
of his
That's
career.
that's too much for me. But my thing is that if you it's a good and if you do sign Borowski to like a 5-year contract, that's whatever. Let's say $8 million per year. I don't know. I'm just making these numbers up because you said Price is making 10. Okay, so obviously I think it's going to be less than what Price has now. So I'll say 7.5, 8 mil per year for 5 years. And it's a good thing because you got a great goalie that's consistent and that's not injury prone and puts up great numbers for 5 years. You can help mentor Carter Hart. Both Elliott and Neuvirth would be gone in that case because you know that you could re-sign Stollers, why not? And I think have lineup as well. And then it's also bad because Carter Hart's the future of Philadelphia for the Flyers and everyone knows that. And I think
Carey Price is 10.5 a year.
yeah, exactly. Whew, that's not good.
And it just started this year, and it's an 8-year contract.
Man, it's
That's
brutal.
a terrible. Nobody's
brutal.
trading for that contract.
No,
It's bad.
not in the right
And
mind.
also another hit you can give to Bobrovsky is he's 30.
Yeah,
That's
he's 30.
How old's Price?
31.
And Price is already well. Price also had a lot of injuries, and that's why
That's true.
He's starting to diminish.
Yeah.
But
That's the other things. Once you hit the 30 mark, that's going to be where you're probably not going
Kinda
to
starts
as well.
Yeah, no,
slowing
which is
down.
same
most
reason-
guys aren't Henrik
Which is
Lundqvist.
why everyone's thinking about Simmons too. Is his production once he hits 30?
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely think Wayne Simmons should be traded by the deadline.
Mhm. But also on that is because I've said I think to both of you is that who would you then trade if you're still going to want to compete for this year, which it sounds like Fletcher would still want to do, instead of maybe tanking or maybe just trying to get a high draft pick, who would you trade for and get somewhat something back?
I mean, if I was Chuck Fletcher, if I'm being completely honest, I would trade for a goalie, but I would trade for a very cheap one. I don't know how much a guy like Craig Anderson, how much he's
we talked about it before.
value-wise. But I think the season's lost. And at very, very best, and I still don't think it's going to happen, they could be like last year and have a great end of the season and just squeak into the playoffs. But just like last year, by the end of the season, they were dead.
Yeah.
They had spent 2 months playing playoff hockey, and they were done. There was no way they were winning that series against the Penguins.
No.
So I think that's the best case scenario. I don't think they're winning a playoff round. So I would just sell off all the expiring contracts. Simmons,
so
Raffle,
well, the nice thing is, because I have cap friendly up right now for the Flyers, we knew this was going to come in handy. So right now, your Laterra, $4.7 million.
No one's gonna take
he's
him.
going to be gone.
Yeah,
Wayne
nobody's
Simmons, I think regardless, he's going to be gone. $3.9 million. 3.975. Raffle 2.35. Wheel 1.75. Scott Lawn's the only one out of those guys that would get a contract.
He's an RFA too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that too. Another 2-year contract. Travis Konechny, he's going to get a 4-year contract at least. The price of the contract, I'm not sure.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if he signs a bridge deal or more long term.
Yeah.
Towards like 7-8.
Phil Veroni, his contract
he's
is
just
expiring.
I couldn't give a shit about Phil.
Yeah, he's just going to go back to the
Yeah.
AHL.
Either way, he's an AHL guy.
Yeah.
Provorov and Sanheim, they are going to get solid contracts.
Oh yeah, they're gonna get
Provorov,
hefty
I think
contracts.
you could see like a 5-6 year deal for him
I don't know.
Oh yeah, I mean it depends.
because you just want to lock him up.
Yeah, they could.
Because I am curious though of how far off they were in the offseason with Hakstol
Right.
and Provorov.
Well,
that
because
brought
Hakstol
up.
was, or someone was saying that it might just be partially Hakstol, but also I think it's Provorov's agent that's just a pain in the ass.
Russians notoriously are more difficult to sign. They always have
Yes.
that option of going to the KHL.
Neuver, $2.5 million. He'll easily be gone.
Oh, yeah.
Stolarz, sure, re-sign him. Why not?
Yeah,
I don't mind Stolarz. I think
he's just. It looks like
They're
not
both.
to-
I still think both ceilings for Line and Stolarz are backups in the NHL.
Oh yeah.
We'll
or
get it-
maybe possibly starter in AHL, but I don't think there's NHL.
Stolarz and Lion played super. Actually, now that I think they both played great. It was a year or two ago in the AHL because when I interned with Wilkes-Barre Scranton, my bosses Mike O'Brien and Nick Hart, the broadcasters for the Baby Penguins, they always said that they thought that Line was the better goaltender over Stolarz.
I've always held that opinion, but this year
Yeah.
it's made me change my mind a little bit. But in
Yeah.
terms of Stolarz, it looks like I don't want to just assume what his injury is, but the way that video that they showed at the start of the third period or the second period, the way his knee, I assume it was a knee injury, and he's had so many in the past. I don't trust him at all to be healthy.
And that's the thing that sucks is that he's had some pretty bad knee injuries before because he's had more than like 2 or 3, I think.
He
something like that.
It was 2 years ago he tore his meniscus, and then
There's
just prior to the season he tore the same meniscus
Yeah,
again.
because I think it was the one when he tore the meniscus. I unless it was someone else I'm thinking of, I think I was actually at that game when I was in Wilkes-Barre Scranton at the time. Because he went from, I remember the play very clearly. He went from right to left. Sorry, left to right, and he kind of got hung up on the post as he was kind of sliding, and it just looked it was a very bizarre play, but Yeah, so and then your other free agents, Corbin Knight, 650,000, 28-year-old center.
Brian Elliott.
Elliott, 2.75 mil. I think Elliott's going to come back for a year, maybe 2.
I don't.
The
with
only
the
reason
injuries,
I
don't
say
know.
that, the only reason I say that, it's more of being a mentor for Carter Hart.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only reason because I rather have him back than Neuvert.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But the other thing is, you could let him go and potentially, bring this up, find.
I still don't think with all these closes they still have, if you re-sign them, is good enough to get you to maybe past maybe one playoff series, depending on who you play. But
yeah, honestly, Elliott with all the injuries he's had lately, I would not bring him back. And he's a lot of general managers.
This is like third time this season getting hurt.
Yeah, and it seems like it's a re-aggravation of the abdominal or hip injury.
Right.
And
well, because that was his own fault, to be honest, because he just wanted to play in the playoffs last year. He didn't let that heal.
Yeah, he could. Yeah,
He could have
had surgery. Yeah.
Yeah, but he decided not to.
Well, and most general managers want to bring in their own guys.
Yeah.
Not even just in the coaching staff, but on the ice. I don't know if they're really going to be willing to bring back these goalies.
Yeah.
Right.
Which they've had so many problems with that were prior to Hakstol's regime.
So,
which is where you look at the free agent goaltenders that are out there.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, here's a list of potential free agent goalies for the upcoming season. So there's Sergei Bobrovsky, Semyon Varlamov, Mike Smith, Jimmy Howard. He's probably going to get re-signed, but Cam Talbot.
Yeah,
he's a 4.16 cap hit, 32.
He's kind of fallen off.
He has fallen off, so I would
32?
probably. Yeah, I know. It doesn't seem like it because
I know everyone acted like he was such a young goalie when he was with the Rangers, when he was playing so well. When Lundqvist went down, so it's just
exactly.
weird to hear how old he is.
I almost forgot he was on the Rangers.
Yeah.
Wow.
For Talbot, he's just played so poorly the past 2 years. I don't know how much.
That's not much of an upgrade
because Koskinen's
from
played so well for them in goal.
Also, if you do sign him, I don't know how much of an upgrade that is compared to the goalies you have.
Yeah, and in terms of like if you want to just bring up a leadership role, while he is 32 years old, he doesn't have that much experience in the NHL. I mean, he's only been in the NHL, or at least as a starter, for the past 2 or 3 years. So.
And he can't have that much leverage too because of how he's played the past couple of years.
Yeah, I wouldn't think he's going to demand much of a contract there.
Yeah, I don't think so. Here's a great goalie I would love. He's an RFA, unfortunately. I know they're going to sign him, but Thatcher Demko.
Thatcher Demko with the Canucks.
Canucks. I would love to have him, but there's no way Vancouver's letting him go. He's their future goalie. He's like Carter Hart. He's their future goalie and will be for years to come. I'm surprised because he's been up and down in the minors in between there and Vancouver. I think they just need to have him up already because he's the go-to guy in my opinion. So.
Yeah, I mean...
Well, for a team like Vancouver, I don't know why you don't do that to begin with because you're not really competing.
You are, but you're not.
You're not ready yet. You just lost the Sedins, and they weren't really helping much.
Yeah, but you have Elias Pettersson is what's keeping them there. Brock Besser as well.
Sure.
Yeah, they have a lot of young
Jay
talent.
Beagle.
Oh, yeah, Jay Beagle.
And Antoine Roussel.
Oh, Roussel. Remember?
Bertanen.
Wait, can we just take a time out? Remember when Ryan White and Antoine Roussel, when he's back on Dallas, had that little verbal conversation in the penalty box, and Whitey was just clapping. Oh, I miss those days. But so, Vancouver, oh, shit. Yeah, they dropped down. They're in 6th in the Pacific with 34 points.
Yeah, which is still 6
if I'm
points
not
better than
mistaken,
the
I'm pretty sure I had them last in the Pacific.
I had them relatively higher than that.
I had them last. I'm fairly confident that
I
I had them last.
I can't remember where I had them. We got to take a look at our predictions from Sports Talk Philly.
Yeah.
So other goalies, obviously Elliott and Neuvert, Mikko Koskinen from Edmonton.
Yeah, he's played really well for Edmonton. I assume he's going to get re-signed as a starter.
Here's also why Demko has not played. Anders Nielsen for Vancouver is 29. He's a $2.5 million cap hit. He's a potential free agent.
Mm-hmm. How has he played this year? I know Markstrom's a starter.
That's who I was missing, Markstrom.
Yeah.
I was like, there has to be a reason why He's not playing.
Yeah, Markstrom looked good last night.
Yeah.
Although he's playing the Flyers,
Made
it
him look.
difficult.
Anytime the Flyers play someone, especially like some new goalie, they make him look like the next Vezina Trophy winner.
Every time.
So this year, 3-6 for Nielsen. 3-6-1. 2.91 goals against average, .901 save percentage in 10 games played with 10 starts total.
Yeah, looking at the
That's honestly probably better than most of the Flyers' goaltending stats.
Yeah, that's true.
Other than that, you don't, in my opinion, you don't really have many go-to names out there. Niemi and Miller are way too old.
Yeah,
Chad Johnson's out there. Mrazek, no thanks. That ship's already
to
sailed.
me, Semyon Varlamov is probably
The best option.
the best
Robin
option.
Leonard could be out there potentially. I don't know what you guys think about him.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he's played pretty well for the Islanders so far this year.
Yeah.
He obviously has that sort of reputation for being a bit of a problem.
Right.
Well, he was rumored like a couple seasons ago when we signed Elliott that the Flyers might go after.
And even last year, there was his name floating around.
Yeah.
Michael Hutchinson from Florida. He's 29, 1.3 mil cap space. Or cap hit, I should say. That's not too bad. Keith Kincaid.
Yeah.
Other than that, there's not a whole lot. I love this. Dave Carter Hart's name is further down on the list.
I think it's just by cap hit, I assume.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you're right.
These numbers for the Flyers goaltenders are terrible, by the way.
Yes.
Elliott's is the only one that's kind of average. The 259 goes against, and save percentage is not 11.
Yeah.
Source is 390 and 880.
Other team stats in general, Meltzer tweeted this out last night. Tonight marks the 10th in 31 games time Flyers have either been shut out or held to one goal. 21st in 31 games.
That's the other thing, too. Is
They've given up the first goal. Over the last 15, the team's 4-8-3. So that's lovely.
If they do, which they probably are, and if they do sign Quenneville or whoever as a coach, then it's then up to the Flyers themselves to turn it around then at that point.
Yeah.
And even with the hiring of someone like Quenneville or whomever,
There's a lot to do.
there's going to be changes. I mean, there's going to be player person.
I just hope they put Lindblom back in the lineup. I don't know why he was taken out last night.
It makes no sense.
Again, that's a typical Dave Hakstol move right there.
Yeah. And then also the
Patrick on the
overusing a
fourth line,
goalie,
too.
the overusing a goalie, which
Yep.
results in an injury.
Sounds like Craig Berube.
But yeah,
They're in cahoots.
It's something we've seen from Dave Hakstol because I remember, what was it, last year Brian Elliott started 25 of 26 games.
Yeah. Because
and he's 33.
Because they
years
didn't
old.
want to start Lyon.
Yeah. So it's just become something that's very predictable for Dave Hakstol.
Yeah. At this point, besides like Couturier or like the main core of like Giroux or Voracek or JVR, I think I'd probably be okay with them trading away.
Yeah.
At this point, just because if you can get something out of them. Most of them are free agents next year anyway, so.
Yeah, the only
or
person,
the next couple seasons.
The only person signed long term that I could see being traded is Voracek. I don't know if that's actually going to happen. I don't know
if anyone's going to want that contract.
I don't know.
I don't think it's that bad.
It's not that
terrible.
bad,
It
it's
just
not
depends
great.
on what team has the cap space to take on.
Yeah.
Also, some other because I forgot about the guys in the minors. Some other guys that contracts expire that some you definitely don't care about. Others maybe. Taylor Lear, Lear. Yeah,
Lear.
Lear's they're mostly all RFAs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Except
so
for
Lear,
Craig
Goulburn, Vecchione, Knack, Fezlev, Bardreau. The only one that is not a RFA is Greg Carey.
Which again he's just a veteran.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, so there's
And honestly, you could at this point, you're seeing the most from Vecchione. He might not get re-signed.
they never. I don't even know if they've really given him a chance because they've.
well,
I don't
yeah.
know if he would because there's so much hype in who's going to sign Vecchione here or there, and.
I mean, the same thing was said of Drake Caggiula the year before.
Yeah,
and he's done very
Caggiula.
little with the Oilers at this point.
That's a
so
good point.
I think there's just a lot of overhyping the top college free
Right.
agent guy.
Well, the one guy I would like to see is Frost up. So
Yeah, That's something looking forward to next year.
Yeah.
As potential.
Because
lineup
he's
option.
19 right now.
And if he's not tops in the OHL in scoring,
He
the
is.
only reason why is he right now?
I'm pretty sure he is.
If he's not, the only reason why is because he's been at World Junior Camp.
Yes.
For Team Canada.
He does turn 20 on May 14th.
Yeah, so
Just
he's
so
a,
you know.
he's a late birthday too.
He is. So regardless, he's going to be up in the pros, NHL or AHL next season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it
Oh my God, this is amazing. In just 32 games played, he's 58
he's
points.
third, but he's 2 behind the guy for most for points.
He'll
But
pass
it's probably
him.
because he was, like you said,
yeah, he's
camp.
he's
Yeah.
in World
Yeah.
Junior Camp. He has been for the past week or so.
Yeah, but yeah, he is 58 points in 32 games with 20 goals, 38 assists. So literally, he's already on pace to beat his points from 2016-2017 season with 62 points. I think he's going to break that 112 point season last year easily.
Yeah, I think there's definitely potential for that. But again, last year he wasn't in World Junior Camp, and this year he is,
That's
so he
true.
will have less games played. Last year, I believe he had
67.
67 games played. So
Yeah.
this year, he'll probably be closer to 60 or so. So
Okay. I mean,
Mhm.
regardless, he's still going to easily break the 100-point mark.
yeah, and he'll have a pretty significantly higher points per game.
and his
average.
first time being on a Canadian team too.
Yeah.
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 This is lovely.
Just waiting for something to happen.
At this point, you're just waiting for the news to come out.
Yeah,
Exactly.
pretty much. Yeah, because
Because I don't know anyone who's defending Hakstol at this point.
there's
Yeah.
practically nobody.
I mean, you'll
Yeah.
probably have the players saying it, but that's just because
Oh yeah, they give
They're
their
gonna
cliche
do that,
answer.
yeah.
yeah, they
cliche
got to
answers.
say that. It's
Mhm.
their coach and everything, but
yeah, I don't know what you do there.
I don't know.
Um,
Someone.
Not a lot left to say.
No, there
No.
not but someone tweeted it out yesterday, or last night. I want Dave Hakstol's firing televised. I want the live meeting.
It's true. I would love to see that. I would love a Hard Knocks. A
Yeah,
Hard Knocks
right.
24/7.
Yeah.
Yes.
of Dave Hakstol being fired.
Yeah.
That would be great. I think that would make everyone's day so
Will
much
it be
better.
shorter than Hextall's 20 seconds?
Let's. All right, guys, wait. Place your. This is our fun prediction, Mike.
Yeah.
Because every podcast we do a fun prediction, like
Okay.
something. I'm trying to think. Some of the last ones we've done, like who was the one that you said something about the fight?
Oh yeah, it was Kachuk and Ghost fight.
Oh yeah,
Fight.
yeah. So we just come up with like random, funny predictions typically, and I think one of my predictions.
All mine are going away.
Yeah, right. One of my predictions was like the third line, which consisted of Patrick and
It's not really a fun prediction. It's just a prediction.
yeah, it is
that one.
Yeah.
prediction. But occasionally, from time to time, we have just like ridiculous ones. So,
Yeah.
so how many seconds do you think Dave Hakstol will get fired in his meeting? Because the record to beat is 20 seconds, set by Ron Hextall.
It'll probably be a 5-minute thing.
If it's
sad.
5 minutes, then I expect it to be like whenever you look at Dave Hakstol on
Yeah.
the bench, he's just staring blankly.
He really is, and that
It'll-
pisses me off.
It'll be Fletcher just saying something, telling him he's fired, and him just staring at him.
He's
and
staring
eventually
into his
Fletcher just
soul.
walks away because he doesn't know what's
yeah,
happening.
right.
Like in Breaking Bad.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that might be a hit already. That's pretty great right there. Staring eternally into his soul.
Mm-hmm.
So you're saying 5
mean-
minutes. You're going basically this stare route.
Yeah, I think he's gonna go. I think he'll give him a full minute 30 of staring at him, and then he'll just walk away.
And then the other thing
Because
is,
it'll be like Dave, and he's just staring. There's nothing.
And then guys.
I mean-
and then that's where Fletcher looks at the camera. Guys, a little help.
and if you look at his resume, you weren't really sure how well he's going to come in anyways.
Right.
He had no NHL experience, and he's never
Mhm.
won a
And
playoff series.
he never won a title with
no,
North Dakota.
North Dakota, no.
He's
He's
never
come
won
close.
a playoff series.
The closest he's come is the Final Four. Sorry, Frozen Four. I keep saying Final Four. The Frozen Four. I think this is actually 2014, the year Shane Gostisbehere and Mike Vecchione's Union College won the NCAA championship.
Mhm.
One. North Dakota lost with like 0.2 of a second left in overtime or something like that, or in the period to Minnesota.
Mhm.
for a huge upset, and that was, I think, the closest he's come to the championship game.
Yeah.
Yeah, at least I think. I could be wrong, but
Yeah,
I'd be very surprised if he's coaching next game. So
Yeah. And
yeah.
again, I almost kind of, I don't want it to happen, but I would be very interested to see if it does happen where he's still the coach, what the fan reception would be like.
Oh yeah.
Like from the, it would
Bad,
have to be
bad, bad.
before puck drop of Fire Hakstol channel.
Oh, absolutely. My prediction for the
oh yeah, you haven't even got to yours yet.
yeah, I'm having too much fun with this though. Honestly, I don't even know. You said minute 30. What'd you say, Mike? Like 5 minutes? Yeah. Honestly, just because I want to be that person, I'm saying 19 seconds.
19 seconds, okay.
I wanted to beat Hextall's record.
Well, it's also not going to be Paul Holmgren firing him.
Oh,
so.
damn it! All right, then
He might be in the
21
he may be in the
seconds.
room, but I doubt it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because he does want to be he would want to be more involved with Fletcher.
yeah.
With
I think
Hakstol.
I think it's very unlikely that we're also going to get the inside scoop from Hack having a press conference like Ron Hextall did after
Yeah,
the fire.
right.
No.
Yeah, I don't.
No,
I don't see that happening.
Even if he did, it's just first question, and then just stares
Yeah,
off. And
exactly.
it's like he blacks out.
Mhm.
Oh, you know, it's not what you expect it to be.
Oh gosh,
But I think since we're running out of things to say, I think we're just going to end it there.
pretty much.
All right. Yeah.
All right. So until our next podcast, see ya.